So, fellas, I think Deebo Samuel is about to become a Washington Commander. And I'm being super serious when I make this video. I know nothing is official, but I think it's official. Especially after today when we got the news that Washington is one of 2 teams that have been aggressively calling and trying to trade for Deebo Samuel. What's good, y'all? It's your man Juangotti here. Before we get into today's video, I want you guys to do me a favor, subscribe to my fitness channel as I'm documenting my journey from fat to fit. Link down below in the description.
The way that we live is not for everybody. We're going to run and put our bodies on people in a violent manner.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she clap her hands, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's on.
You know what time it is. It's time to come out.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Red? Thanks for the bite.
So Deebo, I'ma go ahead and tuck mine in. Samuel is on his way to Washington. And I get it. It is February, so nothing is set in stone. But I'm telling you, bruh, I think Deebo Samuel is going to be a Washington Commander. So we already knew Washington was in the market for a wide receiver. And we know Deebo Samuel was very frustrated with his role and lack of production there in San Francisco. So he ended up requesting a trade, and the 49ers, similar to what we did with Jonathan Allen, is granted him permission to go seek a trade partner. So more likely than not, Deebo Samuel will not be returning to the San Francisco 49ers. He's either going to be traded or he's going to be released if he doesn't find a trade partner. And of course, Washington is tied to this trade because of Adam Peters. And not only because of Adam Peters, obviously we know we need wide receiver help desperately. Now, is Deebo Samuel your first option? No, I'm more than certain Adam Peters' first option and yours as well was probably Chris Godwin and T. Higgins. But after knowing what we know now, with those 2 guys more likely than not returning to their former teams, you got to open up your options to other guys such as Deebo Samuel, such as a Cooper Kupp and Stephon Diggs and all these other veteran wide receivers. And with Deebo Samuel, my thing is I don't mind having Deebo. I actually had him in my mock wide receiving core for the upcoming season. It was Chris Godwin and Deebo Samuel. But obviously Chris Godwin again is going back to Tampa Bay, and Deebo Samuel seems to be on his way here. So I think Washington could make this move happen, and it would be a great fit as long as they add more to it. What do I mean by that? What I mean is Deebo Samuel and who else? Is that Deebo Samuel and a rookie wide receiver? Is that Deebo Samuel and another veteran like a Cooper Kupp or like a Stephon Diggs? We need to add more for the simple fact that Deebo Samuel is not a pure wide receiver, and I don't think you trade for him going in with that mindset. I think you trade for him for all of the things that he's able to contribute offensively as a receiver, as running back, or wherever you may use him offensively. That's why you trade for Deebo Samuel. If your mindset is, oh, we need a wide receiver too, and we're going to go out and trade for Deebo Samuel, I think there is where you make your mistake, because that's not his strong suit. Of course, Deebo Samuel genuinely thinks he's a wide receiver, and he may want to play wide receiver only, but that's not what made Deebo Samuel so good. What was it, in 21 or 22? What made him so good is how dangerous he was wherever he was on the field. Deebo Samuel is probably a 700, 800 yard wide receiver range, but all total purpose yards about 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. That's the capability he can have when healthy. And although Deebo wasn't my first option, I genuinely would be fine with Deebo Samuel as long as he buys into knowing, hey, I'm coming to Washington to contribute however they need me. I'm not going to Washington to be the number 1, because that's obviously Terry McLaurin, and I'm not going to Washington to just be a pure receiver. I know deep down in his heart that's what he wants. But what makes Deebo is doing everything on top of that. And if that's his mindset, if he buys in, I think Deebo can go back to his old form. But if he's stuck on this, oh, I just want to be a receiver, I don't want nothing to do with running back, I don't want nothing to do with being a gadget guy, I think that's where you go wrong with trading for a guy like that. Now let's talk about why I think it's going to happen. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point, especially after today's news that came out about Washington and Deebo Samuel being traded here. So today it came out that the Washington Commanders and the Houston Texans are the two teams that have significant interest in trading for Deebo Samuel. Matthew Burry, he came out and wrote this: my annual late night total rumor at the Combine column will come out next week, but there's one rumor I heard may be outdated by the time it gets published. Is Deebo Samuel will be traded very soon. Multiple teams are interested in Deebo Samuel's. Commanders are one of them. And when I first heard this news, I tweeted out and said, yeah, y'all, Deebo Samuel is a Commander, because it's too obvious that it's pointing in that direction. Deebo wants to play for a contender. He wants to play for a team that's going to get him the ball. And not saying Houston is neither one of those things, because they definitely are, but there's rumors that they want Stephon Diggs back and kind of want to run it back with a healthy Diggs and a healthy Nico Collins, because they feel as though their season was robbed due to injuries. And honestly, that is true. So the Texans is just as much in this race as us. However, what I think gives us the leg up is obviously our connection with the San Francisco 49ers. I think there's no bad blood between the 49ers and Deebo. I think it's similar to Washington, where they want to trade one of their star players away and do right by them, allowing them to go somewhere that they want to go. And with that being said, I genuinely think we're the best fit for him because of that connection. Obviously, their general manager, John Lynch, is going to try to work out a deal that's favorable for Deebo, for the 49ers, and obviously he isn't going to want to, one up his guy, Adam Peters. So I don't know, man. I genuinely think it works out for every side, every party involved, and I think it gives Washington a tool that they desperately been needing. And I get it, and I understand. I'm 100% behind the fan base when I say we do need a legit wide receiver 2 alongside Terry McLaurin. But you know what else we desperately need that we were missing last year is playmakers. And I'm talking about just getting the ball in the hands of players and letting them go to work. We had none of that last year outside of a few guys. Terry, Deami, and Austin Eckler are the first 3 to come to mind. And we could do so much more and better with Cliff Kingsbury offense if we fill the field with guys that can just do damage by having the rock in their hands. Deebo Samuel's 2020 year is the year where he went stupid, when he went crazy as a wide receiver, and he also chipped in as a running back as well. Did you know Deebo Samuel put up 1,400 plus yards and averaged 18.2 yards per reception, man? He went absolutely crazy that year, and I'm genuinely curious if coming to Washington could help him get back to that old form. I'm not necessarily expecting him to get back to 1,400 yards in a season. Like, if that was the case, I would love that, of course, but I'm kind of more so looking at Deebo as really a number 3, if I'm being truly honest, because like I said, I want to also add another piece if we in fact trade for Deebo Samuel. And my thing is, right, and I've been thinking about this too, is there a possible way that we could trade for Deebo Samuel and also get Cooper Kupp? Like, I know in hindsight that may sound like ridiculous, but what if we could do that? I know we may not have the draft capital per se, and Adam Peters loves his draft picks, but what if there's a way we trade for Deebo Samuel and we wait for Cooper Kupp to be a free agent and then we sign him that way too? I don't know. I know that's probably far-fetched, but in my dream reality, I see Washington having Deebo Samuel and Cooper Kupp as well. Let me dream though. Let me dream, because I think the reality of the situation is we'll end up trading for Deebo Samuel, and then we'll probably draft another wide receiver, a rookie, and re-sign Deami Brown, and then our receiving core will look something along the lines of Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, rookie wide receiver Luke McCaffrey, and Deami, and maybe you bring back Noah Brown as well, and that can be your 6. And before we get out of here, I do want to say ESPN put out a proposed trade between Washington and San Francisco, and it says this: Commanders get Samuel and the 49ers get a 2026 4th round pick, a 2027 5th round pick, and they both can become 4th rounds if Samuel is on the team in the 2026 season. And that seems very realistic. That seems like a trade that could possibly happen, given the fact that it has some type of asterisk by it that could make it better. I think that helps out both sides for this trade. 49ers get a better pick if Deebo's on the 2026 roster, and Washington could kind of, throw away a 4th or 5th round pick if Deebo doesn't pan out. And I know that may hurt in hindsight 2020, because 4th and 5th round picks are valuable, especially under this regime. But hey, look, man, you gotta take a risk somehow. And if you're telling me we're only risking a 4th and 5th round pick for Deebo, I'm gonna go ahead and tuck mine in. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new content like this to the channel. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers. So we greatly appreciate if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Never gave up on me. Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a lawn.